Hello, guys. Happy New Year. Hope everyone is fine. Happy New Year, fam.
Happy New Year as well.
Where did you spend your New Year's at?
Yeah, funny you should ask. I spent my New Year's in the village.
The village. How's the village?
The village was nice,
Okay.
to say the least. Okay, nice is an understatement.
It was like so good.
Yeah, it was so good. The bushes, the coffee, the snakes, and whatnot.
Okay, that's cool. This is our first episode since entering 2024. I don't know what we are going to talk about, but we are basically going to try and figure it out because we have not been recording for like the past 2-3 weeks.
So we are just going to wing it.
Yeah, and hopefully it turns out to be a great, informative episode.
I have no doubt it will. First, allow me say, nice touch with the hair.
Oh, thanks.
Dreadlock rasta in it.
I hope the women like it too.
They always like those things.
Do they
Anyway.
really?
First things first. This is a very important question I've always wanted to ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is your ideal Ugandan sound? And what is your ideal Ugandan picture?
My ideal Ugandan sound and my ideal Ugandan picture. It's quite a hard question. But my ideal Ugandan sound, I don't have an ideal Ugandan sound. As long as what you're saying can be heard clearly, and as long as the visuals are clean and support the sound, I'm all in for it.
Like the Sasha vibes type of thing.
Not even just Sasha vibes.
No, that was just an example I picked out.
As long as people can clearly see and hear, then that's ideal for me. Yes.
Ideal. Because prior to this session, we were talking about a few things here and there.
Yeah.
About the sound and the visuals. What needs to be done? What the status quo.
What is really funny is that 10 years back, when you're watching TV, the sound and the picture at the time was the ideal one.
Yes.
My ideal sound for now may not be the ideal sound for me in the next 10 years because technology evolves. So when we used to watch Life Mode back then, we'd be like, oh, this picture is clean. Oh, the sound is nice. But if you had to watch it right now, you're like, it has fallen off. So yeah.
Be that as it may, I love the Nigerians for just one reason. They are direct. They are strictly Nigerian. Well, except the recent times, but they are strictly Nigerian. When we were watching the Nigerian films back in the day, Baby Police and whatnot, you could tell that this is, Nigerian.
Yeah.
And fast forward a couple of years later, you can still say, yeah, this is Nigerian.
Yeah.
Leave alone the visuals, I'm talking about film.
Wait. You're saying you can tell these are Nigerians because of how they speak?
Not even because of the accent. The accent is just a by the way. But I mean to say, when they set up, how they set up, you can really tell that this is Nigerian work.
Yeah.
Can we say the same for Ugandans? Like fast forward 10 years later or 20 years later, that this is Ugandan work. Like if you to go back to revisit your classics.
I think back then we would tell that this is Ugandan work. But right now it's very hard to tell that this is Ugandan work and what is not. Because I'll give an example of like back then, you would just tell by, it's being broadcasted within Uganda. You would look on the graphics and then you'd be like, this is probably Ugandan work. Because we had that just stereotype of Ugandan things don't look so nice. Whenever I watch something on TV and it was not really appealing, you would be like, it's probably work done by a Ugandan actor or director.
Yeah, I could cut them some slack on the graphics bit. And no, I'm not even being a critic. It's not. they don't erect statues for critics.
Yeah,
But
true.
I'm just an enthusiast that is trying to make sense out of an existing situation. The graphics, well, they matter.
Yeah,
But
they
for
do.
for this case, all I'm saying is, suppose oli muno omunda otumbudde TV omuntu asobola atya okumanya oba oli ku kina Uganda? Edda baamanyanga ng'oli ku ki Nigeria
Yeah.
ng'otumbudde butumbuzi TV.
Just even like by the kind of sound design.
Yes,
Yeah.
you could tell that this is Nigerian. Now the big question here is, are we facing an identity crisis as Ugandan showbiz? And I'm not saying we in the context that I'm an artist,
Yeah,
but I am using we because I love art. I love consuming art. So I put myself as part of the number.
Yeah. So me, I would very much so say that we are facing an identity crisis as the Ugandan creative industry. I feel like we are still in the formative years. We are trying to discover who we really are and what type of content defines us. Because like if you're watching Ugandan shows, you would tell that, oh, this guy's probably picked inspiration from this certain Nigerian show, this South African TV show, this American TV show. Yeah, we are still in the formative years. We don't have something we look at and be like, okay, now this is the pinnacle of Ugandan art.
Konka, yeah.
Yes. We are still like trying to figure out this.
But to your point of the graphics, they have come a long way. They certainly have improved.
Yeah, they have certainly improved, because if you had to look at recent productions, currently my favorite on Ugandan TV, I love Namulya. The visuals are really nice. The acting is nice. The story is not new, but it's nice. It's relatable and understandable.
And cast-wise, how would you comment on the cast? What would be your
like generally on all Ugandan films and dramas?
Yes.
I feel like for majority of the shows I've watched, the casting is okay. But of course, there are exceptions. I don't want to be so,
no.
Because the Bible says, judge not and you won't be judged.
We are not being judgy here. We're just tukubaganya mbirowoozo.
But me, I don't know, but the acting is really okay. I'll give an example. I watch Sanyu. And one of the performances in Sanyu that I actually enjoy is that guy, what's his name? Katongole, the Sanyu's husband. What's his name in the show? I've forgotten the name, but that guy, his acting is really, it's believable. It's nice. I watched Damali. The acting I really enjoy from Damali is the husband to Damali.
Yes, Mr. Charles, is it?
Yeah, Charles Mbide, I think.
Yes.
I'm not sure if that's the name, but his acting is very believable. Like, you watch it and you're like, yes.
Yeah, there was a time when Damali was in the hospital.
Yeah.
She was in a coma.
Yeah.
And he was a very frustrated individual. You could really see a man that was frustrated. He was dealing with a lot. There is a building where he was supposed to put a hospital, but it turns out the wife had done certain things.
That woman is not easy.
The
She's
wife,
very shady.
Yeah, the wife had done certain things, and when he went to the bank, he found out that the building was not in his name.
And here's the reason why Damali works as a TV show to Ugandans. The story it portrays is actually Ugandan. Most husbands go out to work, support my wife, what. But then you come back, you're like, the woman will tell you that we are still renting, yet even the home you're staying in is owned by her. So you're basically paying her rent and you don't know.
Yeah.
She's doing so many things behind your back. She's owning property that you don't know of. It's not that you'll be against it, but it hurts. Like there is no that bit of trust, and that's what is happening in most Ugandan families. And that's why Damali works.
Young kings, be woke.
Like it really portrays what's happening on the ground. Yeah, I think that's why it works.
Yeah, so along that time, I think his daughter also went. The daughter Drusilla.
Yeah.
Yagenda mu Mombasa.
And then her phone got robbed. That's the episode.
Yeah.
I watched that one.
And then
also the acting I enjoy very much from Damali is also that boy that likes Drusilla.
Yes.
I don't know the character's name, but I think the actor is called Ken or Kenneth or something. Okay, I'm not sure of the name. That guy's acting is also very nice. Yeah.
Yes, it works. It works. So does Sanyu. I've seen this guy here.
What guy?
This gentleman here in Sanyu. Yeah. There are very few people, there are very few actors who I can say, very few Ugandan actors, let me specify, who I can say have range.
Talking of range, it would also be mean for you to say that. Very few, because most have not gotten that opportunity.
Now, that's why I'm saying very few on account of them, of those number not getting the opportunity. But the ones that have gotten the exposure, you see the name I'm even about to mention is a very experienced one.
Who's that?
Andrew Benon Chibuka. Well, he's neither in Damali nor Sanyu. He's in Beloved.
Yeah, Beloved.
Yeah. But you could tell.
Like the father.
Yes.
Yeah.
In there, he is a rich man. He's a millionaire or potentially a billionaire.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to believe that this is the same man who was Dube Sempata.
Man, that part was mad. I was like, okay.
Yes.
And both sides are believable.
Yes, both sides are believable.
You're like, okay, now, yeah.
Then in Sanyu, there is one of these I've forgotten his name, but his name sounds Tanzanian.
Who is that? Mushema.
No, not Mushema. So there was this episode in season 2 when George got kidnapped.
Who is George? George, the light-skinned guy?
Yes. When he got kidnapped, and one of the guys that kidnapped him, the guy is chubby, a little. No, I shouldn't say chubby, but he's big. He has a beard. He has, no sideburns. He was also in Deception. His name sounds Tanzanian. I don't know if the description doesn't do justice. But yes, in Deception, he was a very, very manipulative, scheming, and promiscuous gentleman. In Sanyu, he's just a goon who is always smoking cigarettes.
Talking of range, I'd also talk of the husband to Sanyu. He was also in a short film on YouTube called Building 27.
I don't think I caught that one.
Yeah, but in Sanyu, he's a lover boy. But in Building 27, he's
is it Oscar?
Oscar, yeah, Oscar. In Sanyu, he's pampered and all that. Building 27 is actually the villain.
Yes.
Like if you watch both performances of his, you're like, wow. Yeah, they're both very much so believable.
And the times I've gotten to watch Philip Luswata, I watched him in Makutano Junction.
Yeah, I watched that too.
And some other subsequent shows.
That guy is also in Damali as Pinto.
You see? And
it works still.
You see?
Yeah.
But then still it goes back to what we said. Experience, exposure. Yeah. And I am very glad that now there is a platform for young actors to express themselves.
Yeah.
To get that range that we are talking about.
Yeah.
And hopefully in the near future that we can start to see the identity that we so much crave to see. Where we can identify that, this is a Ugandan film, this is a typical, because
Besides the marketing and saying that it's a Ugandan film, whereby we can actually tell without someone mentioning all that. Oh, this film is done by the Ugandan producer, Ugandan actors, You just look at it and you're like, oh, this is Ugandan.
But I do appreciate Pearl Magic.
Really do.
Simply because not just putting out Ugandan content, it has not been segregative.
How so?
You see, you mentioned, you used the example of Mama Nach watching Pearl Magic. And she's like, bana walioka na akazanyo Pearl Magic. But there is also another corporate Ugandan who is going to come back from work. And that corporate Ugandan is going to want to watch that same, that same show that Mama Nachi
watches.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I would say it's very, what's the term?
Inclusive.
Yeah, very inclusive. Whereby it appeals to both.
Yes.
And one Mama Nach in the market will rush back home in the evening. Oh, Sun is beginning. Is it at 8, at 7? I'm not sure.
Yeah, kubanga edda twali tumanyi nti obuzannyo bw'abamaid. Edda abamaid baasirizanga n'emmere.
And even what's better is that you can actually watch it on TV and even on your phone because there is an app for that. Like for those people that say, oh, I'm busy, I'm work-oriented, you can watch it at your place of work. I also like that Ugandans are also like, they are traversing the Ugandan market looking for new opportunities out there. On Netflix, there is a recent Kenyan show called Volume. It's a musical. A boy trying to make it out with his music, but then, he lives in a ghetto and how ghetto life affects your career and all that, drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That show features 2 Ugandan actresses. One, I think she's called Tanya. The other name, I don't know how to mention it. She was in there is this thing, what's it called? There is this show also on Pearl Magic. I've forgotten the name, but she is in it. And the other actress, I think you know her. She's in JDC. This woman, what's her name? And the problem is that I'm very bad with people's names.
No, but keep going.
So do you know what it means for to have 2 Ugandan actresses in a Kenyan Netflix series, whereby the prominent language is Swahili. Yeah, but they're still cast, and that shows that Ugandan actors and actresses are actually working hard to just not to make it within Uganda, but also outside. And then recently, I also was watching. I watch a lot of Nigerian series and films. There is a major Nigerian actor also who appeared in a South African TV series, Magenta Call. Yeah, but that shows that we as Ugandans and actors, we shouldn't just, work to make it within, but also outside. Like build a legacy of work, not within your home, but also outside.
The 2 Ugandan women, they traversed, is the word traversed?
Yeah.
Well, they crossed the borders. Now they are at East African level.
Sure that.
Hopefully, further forward to Africa. And I am glad, much as we are experiencing that identity crisis, as we put it, when we were beginning this, I have to give credit where it's due. There has been effort to try and eliminate that identity crisis in cinema, Ugandan cinema. The effort is there. It's slowly being eliminated. And, and I believe in the future it will be done with, because now when they're recording any given episode, you can see they are using the typical status quo of Uganda.
True.
There is Abechi Mombasa, then the high end. So
and it's realistic too.
Yes.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah, so you see during those transitions, you see that when they are doing the aerial view of Kampala, you see that sometimes they show Mapera, Now, when they are switching to the ghettos, they use that one of Ndeba. There's the typical representation of a ghetto. A Ugandan ghetto is a railway line.
Yeah.
That is almost being covered by soil and everything. You see that now exists. It's a common thing, and it's wonderful to see.
But also for the Ugandan film sector, to get to the heights we wish it should be at, also needs the collective effort of the audiences. One would argue that, but if you don't make a movie nice, of course people won't come and watch your movie and stuff like that. But also when Ugandans really try and put out good work, people don't show up to watch the premieres in cinema. That's why you love Ugandan movies have a very short runtime in cinemas.
Yes.
It's usually a day or two. Yeah. It's very hard to find a movie showing at a cinema that is Ugandan for more than a week or even a month at long.
Yes, like you say, collective effort.
Ugandans, the problem is that, man,
I'll speak for myself.
Yeah.
I'll speak for myself. If there was a movie that is well marketed,
yeah,
even if it turns out to be shitty,
yeah, you would go watch it.
Yes, but it was well marketed. Told me that they would have to make me feel sorry for missing it.
Yeah, the fear of missing out for more.
Yes, so that kind of marketing is still lacking.
Yeah, true. The marketing is most people think that to market a movie you just anyway. Because I am no expert at marketing, so my views may be wrong.
Because look at it like this: we, the Ugandans, we are bored people.
We are very idle.
Yes, we are bored. So every single thing is a source of entertainment. True. You just have to put it right.
Package it well, market it right.
Exactly.
Then you love your souls. But still, man, I feel like that's not enough. You can market something and people still don't come.
That is why I said, the marketing strategy. In their marketing strategy, they should create that fear of missing out.
Yeah. First the audiences have to love the art.
Because it's not that abana Uganda tebata sent boba zita
tetuta sent
no
do you know most katina let me say Ugandans they would probably on the first premiere day, let's say, of Doctor Strange, that's a very big budget. It's well marketed, the trailers are always on point. A film like Never Budget cut 30K. On the first day, bro, people will flock the cinemas. You'll come to book let's say a ticket for 9 p.m. and they'll tell you they're booked out.
We watched that movie on the first row.
Yeah.
It was hectic.
But on Ugandan premieres, bro.
Auntie, now that is the thing. You see, I was so hyped for Doctor Strange. Just how the whole build up to the movie. I was so hyped. I was so hyped for Oppenheimer, because of the build up. Even just actually, just when it was announced. And I remember it was in 2022 when I was on this Twitter handle. I think it's Culture Crave. Yes, Culture Crave, and they broke the news that Christopher Nolan will be directing they're called biopics. Yeah, he's going to be directing a biopic about Robert Oppenheimer, and he will not be using CGI.
See, that's already the hook. Okay.
So I was
going to do this.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm familiar with his work. With his work. I watched the Batman trilogy. I had watched Interstellar. I had watched this other one.
What's this other one with Leonardo?
Yes, Inception.
Yeah.
I had watched Inception. So I was like, whoa. wow, fuck, I mean, eh? And of course, it's always easy for me to guess a Christopher Nolan cast.
True.
It's always easy. It's just like I can guess a Martin Scorsese cast.
True.
Or like with a Martin Scorsese cast, all you have to do is just name Leonardo DiCaprio.
True.
Then the rest, Quentin Tarantino, you
Bro.
just have Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Now, a Christopher Nolan cast, Cillian Murphy, Tom Hardy, this other guy who acted as Alfred in the Batman trilogy.
Do you know that guy? Wait a minute. I was on Twitter. I read some fact about that guy. I've forgotten his name, but that's the Musei, right? So that guy, his mom actually, his mom had a child before she was married to his dad to give birth to him. So that's a child out of wedlock. And the mom hid that secret from this guy for over 60 years. Actually, the guy found out after the mom had passed on.
Yeah.
That he had an elder bro. But the elder bro, I think he had issues. Like, the elder bro, I think he was sort of disabled. I can't quite remember what exactly it was, but yeah, that was some crazy thing. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And he also, I think he retired.
Yeah, he retired.
Yeah.
But you know, they asked him a question. If Christopher Nolan ever called you, would you come back? Then they started making memes of him saying,
And
I still have one more left in me. Because, you know, he has been in Christopher Nolan's top sellers.
Yeah, true that.
He has been in Inception, I reckon. Yes, Inception. He wasn't in Oppenheimer though.
Yeah.
Because it came at around the time when he was retired. But they asked him if he came to you, would you say yes? He was like, absolutely, I would.
Because like, who would say no to that guy?
Yeah. So just by looking at that, you know, concept, I was like, fuck it, I have to watch this. So during the entire time, I was so hyped.
But now here's the thing. In Uganda, you get to know about the movie when it's a month or 2 weeks to the premiere.
Yes, exactly.
So by the time you're like, when was this thing made?
Exactly.
How come we didn't know? Because actually the Ugandans at Bambi love the culture of film. But then, you know, I think the marketing. See the Barbie movie, we got to know about it even before it.
Yeah, they always announce when it's time for filming.
Yeah.
That's what the Americans do. Actually, the Germans are the ones that pushed the Americans to improve on how they work on their pictures and everything.
Yeah.
They market when filming starts. They actually tell you that, you know, the script is done.
The script is done. It's written by this.
Yeah. Now the script is done. Filming starts. Now when filming is done, they just keep on updating you. You watched The Boys.
Yeah.
The latest season. We knew that, you know, Jeffrey Dean Morgan was going to come in. But they still kept on updating us. Now the script is done. We didn't know which role he had. But they were like, is he a villain? Is he a protagonist? Is he an antagonist? And then they were like, filming is done. Back to that thing of marketing. For me, I was so impressed when EPAS, but I think it was 2019, 2018, I'm not so certain. But the work he did with African Yayo, the album in itself was good.
But do you think it was like marketed enough? Do you think it was marketed enough?
He did his part.
I would say, yeah, he did.
That's all I can say. He did his part.
But did his role in the marketing suffice?
That's why I said he did his part. It wasn't enough, but he did his part.
Because if you had listened to that album right now, you'll be like, this thing should have popped. But it did pop, but not to that, like to the heights it should have popped.
He played his part. I believe. because he kept on,
updating us,
Yeah.
at work. Now this is done. This,
yeah.
Because me on that album, there's this song I like. I've even forgotten the title, but I know the first line of the song. It goes, is it, start with the key, says mama. She's drunk in love but looking sober. That's that song called. Is it she drive me crazy like an Uber?
Yes, like an Uber.
Yeah.
It's called like
I
an
love
Uber.
that song.
Now, for me, now you see that album was special. It said African Nyayo. Yeah, the name African Nyayo.
Kanye is just so unique. It's intriguing. You're like, what does this mean?
Yes, the
And
cover.
also, he went ahead to explain the meaning of African Yayo, because I remember there are those interviews I used to watch and then he explained what African Yayo means. So I've forgotten now. But yeah,
the cover art itself, it was a painting of him with a crown that is made of twigs.
Yeah.
Do Ugandans do listening parties?
Ugandans do those things.
Yes,
man.
yes. That's why I asked. I was curious.
Yeah.
I was curious because a listening party would be something nice. I remember when Pato Ranking was when he had released, was he releasing Wilma or 3? Because their albums he released in quick succession. He released Wilma in 2019, then he released 3 in 2020. Now he made a listening party. Yes, it was Wilma. Yes, Wilma made a listening party. But contrary to what, I think here we never know about the listening parties majorly because, and this is what I think. Because they are exclusive.
Majority of those I've seen, they are exclusive. And those that are kind of low-key open, they will ask you to pay a fee.
Yes.
Yeah.
The fee is necessary.
Yeah, true.
The fee is necessary.
And also the fees also plays a part in its exclusiveness or exclusivity. I don't know if that word is right.
Potato.
Because Ugandans, my point still remains. Tetwaga kutasent. Katinze wendaba maybe nembanga. I love this guy's work, but the fees 50K. I'll be like, mfachi.
So we find ourselves in a deadlock situation. Tetwagala kuta sente naye ate
like twagala the nice things that come with that.
Yeah. Oli alina okumarketinga naye ate alina okumarketingisa akasente.
So he has to get his money
It's
back.
a very complicated sector.
And I also don't think Ugandans, we really support our artists.
Yeah, but
because those guys Bambi try to put out their merchandise.
Yeah, the artists have been, I don't even want to go deep into that, but they've been complaining about the political end of it.
But also at a point they're like crybabies.
You didn't hear that from me. I didn't say it wasn't me that said that.
It's a personal opinion. It could be trash also.
So
kind.
Yeah. That is left to be. That is left to be debated on for some other time. I don't know the full story, so I can't really say that they are crybabies or not.
Whenever something happens, oh, Faba Imbi, to nigga for so long. Those things. It's like when the URA guys wanted to introduce a new tax for the artists. These guys came out and they were complaining. Oh, Faba Imbi, we are the biggest industry. Mama, these other guys don't pay taxes.
I remember Salvador putting up a spirited defense.
So that's
anyway.
That's a point I was trying to make. But
anyway,
guys be kind.
Yeah, that's our Uganda. But the best we can do is, that thing that teachers do when abasomesa, for them they teach regardless of whether the government has supported them or
True
not.
That.
I was at Namasagali College when we went to the village, and that school is a very, very, it's historically rich.
True that.
But it fell off so bad. If you look at it, if you imagine it because it was existent in the 70s. If you look at it right now and you imagine how it was in the 70s, you would be like you would be disappointed at how and why it fell off the way it did.
But that's what time does.
Yeah, you see this school had the swimming pool.
Yeah.
That was not very common
back then.
Yes, it had a swimming pool. It had a sports complex, as in netball, basketball, football, and it had. It basically looked like a British schools.
Was it like white funded?
I think so.
Cause if it was black owned, I'd be so shocked.
But the school, why it was developed or how it came to exist was simply because there was a railway line that went through Namasagari.
Interesting.
Yes. That railway line
was constructed by whites or Indians, and they had kids that had to go to school, and then
Thank you very
that's
much.
Very interesting.
That back then, Obote's kids went there. The railway line collected cotton from Lango sub-region, and it also collected the train collected cotton from Lango sub-region. Then it came to Busoga sub-region.
To process what?
Not to process, to collect coffee.
Oh. Taking it where?
For processing.
Until to what part of the region of the country?
I don't know exactly.
But when you're telling me about all that stuff, what was running in my mind, I was like, bro, if one smart Ugandan can just make a cereal out of this. Bro,
now, that's school. It was a wonderful school. It was, how King's College was, King's College.
Yeah, just the name. Tells you what.
Now, for Namasagari College, you had to be invited
to join it.
Yes.
Crazy.
To put it into context, the former Prime Minister of Uganda,
that was
Spencer Zakazibwe.
Is it Wandera?
Is it Wandera or Wandera? Yeah. It was said that she cried when she missed out
on that mission.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So did your mom.
I didn't know.
Yeah, she said they sailed. They crossed the Nile from Bugerere to Namasagari. Then they told her to do this.
What's that?
Kati, back in the day of Imani, osobola okulimba emyaka.
Oh.
So if you can touch this part,
you're young.
Oba mukulu. Your hands are long enough. Yeah. So hers could touch. So they were like, nah. But the criteria for admission back in the day was, since it was in Busoga sub-region, they would take three of the best from Jik, Jinja, Iganga, Kamui. Those were the three districts that comprised of Busoga sub-region back in the day. So they would take three of the best students from that time, and then the rest baling abana ba minister. So they would apply, or if they were rich enough. So the people that came through that school include Robert Kawushenga, Rebecca Kadaga.
Wait, it was like mixed?
Yes, yes, mixed. Yeah, it fell off. It wasn't renovated. I've even forgotten the point I was trying to make when I brought in the analogy of the school.
But that's what time does.
Yes.
I think what I would think why the reasons that could have led to its falling off would be maybe when the whites like when Uganda gained independence, and
Yes, exactly.
the leadership had to change.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
But
would
a
say
school,
that.
very wonderful. Along the river banks.
So wait, like when you're in the school, you can see the river and all that.
Yeah. The the river is just, the school is just on the river banks. Along the river banks.
Wait, so do okay, like are there kids that still go there to study?
Yes.
So it's still functional.
Yes.
Interesting.
But the swimming pool is just collecting water.
Dirty water and all
Yeah,
that.
because the water is green. The there's a dormitory. The dormitory got struck. I think
Lightning.
not lightning. I think the wires got short circuited, and the dormitory got burnt, or dormitories, I should say, about 3 blocks. Then there is no functioning school vehicle. That is the van, the tractor, the bus, and the truck. None
Now,
of those work.
now, like speaking of Ugandan legacy, if that school was really like properly managed, bro, that now would be like the pinnacle of Ugandan
Yes.
education. Everyone will be like, okay, like it will be sort of like the Harvard of
Yes. Yes.
of Uganda in terms of like college.
Because it's rich in history.
Yeah, and then if you are to look, is it, I don't know how to pronounce this word, but if you are to look at the is it alma mater?
Alma mater.
Yeah, that thing. You would see that all the guys that have attended it are some big dogs.
Yes.
Not like dogs, but the top guys.
Balina kye beekoledde.
Yeah.
People that have gone there are proud of it.
Yeah. Actually, like that's one thing I've realized. Oh, me, I went to like Namasagari College. They're very proud and loud about
Dad's
it.
DP on WhatsApp. It's the
Their
school
logo.
badge.
Yeah, badge.
It's so fun. That's the same thing with our industry. I mean, we love it. People make good music.
But does it love them back?
Yeah, does it love them back? That is the big question here. Does it love them back? Because, loving it is one thing. Getting that love back is the other.
Man. Anyway, guys, it's been a wonderful session. And catch you on the next episode. We sign out.
Peace.